So here's the problem.
Hold on. Sweeney haven't said anything. I love JR. I love this show. I love participating. But like, if y'all gonna be so critical of respect on this panel, the way you have unmuted your mic and you talking while Ruth is talking, saying, "Oh my effing God, oh this is ridiculous. You don't know what the f you talking about." Like, how is that respectful? But then when
it's not. I'm gonna be real with you. It's not.
When women do it, we out of pocket, we in the wrong, and you expect us to call it out. But Sweeney, that's not okay, and that's not cool, and that'll make somebody not want to come back to the panel because you're telling everybody that they don't know what they're talking about, but nobody is telling you that you don't know what you're talking about. We are all allowing, and we all have space to have our own opinion. Nobody on this panel was raised in the same house. Nobody on this panel has the same parents. We didn't go to the same grade schools. We don't have the same backgrounds or experiences. So to tell people, like you've been saying for the past 35 minutes, that, oh, y'all not educated, y'all don't know what you're talking about, y'all need to learn your history, is very disrespectful. It's very disrespectful. But when somebody step to you and be disrespectful to you, you're gonna be ready to cut your camera off and leave the panel. That is not okay.
I've been interrupted several times. I don't leave the panel.
I've
been told that I don't know what I'm talking about several times. I've never left the panel. I personally don't really complain about people cutting me off. I personally don't complain about it.
I didn't say nothing about interrupting. Sweeney, did you hear what I said?
I hear what you're saying. I truly believe y'all don't know what y'all talking about. That's why I'm saying y'all don't. It's not disrespectful to have my opinion that you don't know what you're talking about.
You got it.
Sweeney,
you got it.
Sweeney. But the thing is, the audience are here to listen to us, so we got to be mindful of how too many people talking at one time can nobody hear us. I do want to have a conversation. I want all points to be heard. So let's just be respectful of each other.
JR.
Honestly, the people at the top are having a dialogue, and the ones at the bottom are having a debate, and that's just what the difference is. Everybody at the top, like me, Ruth, like Bruiser, Casey, we're not all agreeing. We're all adding different. I say something, she adds, he adds. They're adding different perspectives. We're gaining. We're saying, oh yeah, that does make sense. But what about this? And we're having the dialogue. Y'all are having a debate. Y'all are, I'm right. There's no other way but my way. The only way to be seeing it is the way I see it. And that is it. And y'all are dumb. And y'all don't know y'all history. And y'all stupid. It's calm. You're not having a. Are you having a debate? Or are you having a conversation?
I'm having a debate.
Are we having a? We're having a debate.
I'm having a debate.
Okay, you're having a debate. I figured that. We're having dialogue. He's having a debate. Okay, I get it.
Stop it.
It was.
I'm about hold on, y'all.
Everybody.
Hold on, y'all.
Y'all used to screaming over everybody. If you stop talking when other people are talking, if you stop talking when other people are talking, then nobody will have to scream over you. Do you get that? Because see, if I'm talking and then you start talking when I'm talking, nobody can hear me. So me elevating my voice is to make sure nobody can hear you because I'm mirroring your behavior. But if you stopped your behavior, then people wouldn't have to get loud.
You're going to behave the way you behave because you're going to behave the way you
behave.
behave.
You get that?
Come on, y'all. Let's get back to the topic.
You get that?
Get back to the topic.
That ain't had nothing to do with law.
That don't got no sense. Y'all don't have no sense.
All right, Cindy.
Y'all victims.
I'm gonna play this clip.
No, y'all are talking about our community as if y'all know who we
now
are.
you care about your community, but you just wanted rappers to rap about degeneracy and push degeneracy to the children. Now you want to save your community. You were just pushing
what did I say about saving it? What did I say about saving it?
Just dying on the hill for that culture to keep being promoted to the children in your community. Now you love your community.
Y'all sit up here and lie and say things that are not facts. Y'all sit up here and lie and say things that are not facts.
Y'all hypocrites. Somebody can tell people go sell drugs, but y'all don't like Tyler Perry.
Ruth just talked about how the dollar in the community don't circulate,
ridiculous.
and I asked
y'all
her why.
Hypocritical.
I asked her why. She can't give me a why. All she can do is regurgitate that same line, but she can't answer the why. We know the why.
I didn't even get to hear your question. You wouldn't even let me read the statement.
I asked you why several times.
When we're talking about facts,
I asked you why several times. You
gotta stop being.
Well, I was literally talking. You're telling me to stop. I'm asking you why. You stated the fact that black dollars don't circulate in the black community. Why? That's all I want to hear is the why. I don't want to hear nothing else besides why.
It's probably because
You want to know why? Because black people don't have a sense of self mutual interest.
That's stupid as fuck.
I
That's
let me
why.
play this clip. Let me play
That,
this clip.
that response is the reason why y'all shouldn't be talking about this.
Patrick Moynihan in his famous 1965
This is
report
why y'all
entitled
not qualified.
"The Negro Family, the Case for National Action," close quote. Longish quotation, but it gets to something, I believe. Moynihan, the fundamental problem is that of family structure. The Negro family in the urban ghettos is crumbling. A middle class has managed to save itself, but for vast numbers of the unskilled and poorly educated, the fabric of conventional social relationships has all but disintegrated. So long as this situation persists, the cycle of poverty and disadvantage will continue to repeat itself. Close quote. When Moynihan wrote those words, the illegitimacy rate among African Americans was 25%. Today, the illegitimacy rate among white Americans is 36%. Among Hispanics, more than 50%, and among African Americans, more than 70%.
Yes.
Aside from throwing up your hands in despair, what is to be done?
The first thing to be done is to understand that this was a result of policies begun in the 1960s. This is not a legacy of what happened 100 years before the 1960s.
The breakdown of the black family is not a legacy of slavery.
No, if you the classic study of this goes all the way back to the era of slavery, and they find that most black kids, even under slavery, had lived with two parents, and that was true all the way up until the 1960s. And so, if you really want to find out what's changed, it has changed since the 1960s. And the fact that whites now have a higher rate of illegitimacy than blacks had when Moynihan wrote suggests that this is something that spreads out. But if you look at something else, if you look at those blacks, look at black husband-wife families, the poverty rate among such families has been in single digits every year since 1994. And so if you look at the external causes, why the husband and wife families and the welfare single mom families all are facing the same society and objective things, but the results are radically different because the cultures and values are different.
So what I picked up from that is that although all other races are suffering from the policy that was introduced in the 1960s, the reason why there's a huge distance or very large contrast between our community and the rest of them is because what we value as a culture. And if anybody want to speak to that, to try to debunk what he said, or anybody want to promote what he said, I'm here to learn.
Hello, everyone. I want to start off saying that there were a bunch of systems and policies put in place. That's one aspect of why Black folks are in the positions they're in. Also, I would like to add, with all that being said, what are we going to do about it? Because if you look at it, all the systems put in place happen over time. You mean to tell me we haven't learned anything during those times to combat those systems put in place? Or we're going to accept those systems? Like, I'm going to adopt being poor. I'm going to adopt being a victim instead of pulling together. One, the two guys, Mr. Sweeney and Law, they're right in some aspects. Cheryl and the others are right in other aspects. But we got to understand that these systems are what's putting us in this predicament. Okay. And we need to combat these systems. And the only way to do that, one, is by unification, first through family. That's the foundation. So if you have your own family in order, then you can connect with other families that are in order and build from there. That's what these other races do. They build amongst family first, then spread out to other families in their communities. And then they support each other. So with black folks, we tend to say, hey, this guy got a nice car. I hate him. Why? Because I don't have it. Or they have a nice house. I should have a nice house. Why shouldn't I have a nice house? Why do they have to have it? Well, you don't understand that they worked hard for it. Okay? And how they work hard for it? Maybe through family. Maybe they had a lineage of people passing down property. You understand? We don't get to really study each other and understand that we need each other more than we know. We want to play, oh, this one against this one. No, it doesn't matter. At this point, we need to get the program together for our people personally. First from the home, then we spread out through our communities. Now, as far as Black Wall Street, yeah, that happened. There were many other Wall Streets in every other state which were sabotaged as well. There was towns flooded in Georgia. Okay? There's other aspects of what was done to black folks while we're in our position. But we're here. What are we going to do about it? We do a lot of talking, but nobody put the plan in place. I suggest everyone start with their own families, put a structure in place, then build from there. That's the only way you're going to combat this system. Grocery stores. You know who owns most of the grocery stores in my neighborhood? I'm in New Jersey. Hispanics. Families. Hispanic families. They own them because they came together. Even though they have their differences amongst each other, they still come together. We can't do that. Why? Oh, I don't like this person because somebody says something about this person. We got petty differences. Petty.